called her Diana. She was a fertility goddess. And this temple was a magnificent structure for that time period. It was incredible, the immensity of it. And it's interesting where it was placed. Because you see, when you look at the map of the world at that time, Ephesus is, geographically speaking, in a central location for that entire area that was under the control of both Rome and Greek. Okay? Greece and Rome. And you see the location of Ephesus. Ephesus then was a central city for not only commerce, it was on the edge, on the western edge of modern day Turkey. And it was not only the central location for commerce, but it was also the capital of the religion of that day. The religious capital. The heathen of Rome and Greece. And not only Rome and Greece, but you see, you will see the when you study mythology, these ancient religions, you will see the influence of Egypt, Phoenicia, Assyria, Babylon. You will see all those nations coming to a head in these, and of course, since Greece and Rome were the leading the leading nations, the leading powers of that time, Greece still had power, still had influence, even though it was dominated by Rome. It still had a strong influence. Well, you look at the New Testament; it was written in Greek. Okay, so the point being is, we're going from the city of God, Jerusalem, the capital of Israel, to Ephesus, a Gentile city that is noted for the great temple of Diana. And when you read Ephesians, what is it, 18? Not Ephesians, Acts 18, where Paul got in trouble there, and remember the uproar that was caused because he robbed those goldsmiths of their occupation, of their income, and they got mad and they stirred up the city. And remember, for the space of 2 hours, there was a cry, great is Diana of the Ephesians, and Paul almost he almost got torn apart. But we're going from the city of God in Jerusalem, in Israel, to this Gentile pagan city, the capital or the central location of that religious system of that time. You see the contrast there? God has definitely changed something. Taking it and going from Israel, and now he's dealing with all nations. All nations. Because Ephesus is the hub of where all those nations went. They all merged there because of that great temple. And I don't quite understand all the intricacies of these mythologies, all these gods and goddesses. But you know, Diana, or Artemis, she was not only a goddess of fertility, but she was a goddess of love and war. And you know, you think of when you think of the god of war, you think of Mars, right? But the male figure was not the dominant factor in mythology when it came to a divine being in control of war. It was the female figure that had the influence, and this is found not only is this found in Greek and Roman mythology, but in all those mythologies, even into Europe and Asia, you will find that not maybe in all cases, but you will find that these goddesses, that they're the ones who have the dominant. They're the dominant figure in war. That's an interesting thought. Why that is, I'm not sure. You know the expression, all is fair in love and war? Well, these goddesses, they were not only goddesses of war, but they were goddesses of love and fertility as well. What a combination, huh? There's an example of man's philosophy. But as we begin here in Ephesians, what did Solomon say in verse 2? He said, vanity of vanities. But what do we read in verse 2 of Ephesians? Grace be to you and peace from God our Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ. What a contrast. Now next week we will definitely dwell more heavily in Ephesians because we covered some groundwork in Ecclesiastes, but we will definitely get more involved in Ephesians next week. The groundwork had to be done in order to show some of these contrasts. Now we're going to be going back and forth, as I said, to show that sharpness. And there is a sharpness in the two books. One's under heaven and one's in the heavenlies. Any questions?